Hi, chat. Hello. Welcome. It's been so long since I've done a YouTube stream, dude. Oh my god. Hi. Did you guys miss the gaming streams? We're finally doing more gaming streams. Yeah. Yeah. We're playing another Yuri game because I know that you guys really like the last Yuri game that I played. And I've been wanting to play another one, so we're playing another Yuri game today. Another girl kissing game, and I'm gonna have to use blood magic to do so. Yeah, I bet you already expected that, to be honest. Hi Wolfa, hi Bijo, hi Benny, hi Doom, hi Yulia, hi Guy, hi Sky, hi Petey, hi Rhyme, hi Nico. Hi Ted and Nako, I'm moving to another city to my train. Gonna watch when I arrive. Nice. I hope you have a good trip. Hello cat, just bought Minecraft. Gonna listen on my background while I first mine and then craft my way to finish the game properly in over a decade of playing Minecraft. I have never beaten Minecraft either, so good luck. Good luck. I will be cheering for you. But yeah, the game that we're playing today is called A Tithe in Blood, and I actually got this game for free. The developers, bro, I felt so cool. The developers are like, they emailed me and they were like, "Oh, hello, Nako, do you want to play our game?" And I was like, "Yes!" So I was really excited about that. Neko Minecraft any percent speedrun when? I don't know. I might do it someday. It may be cool to do that like as a subathon goal or something. But yeah, also if you guys want to check out the game for yourself, here's the link for the Steam page. And yeah, I think we're gonna play like up to oh wait. Oops. I did oops. Hold on. I pinned the wrong message. Look, I told you I'm out of practice, okay? It's been a while since I did a YouTube stream. I'm out of practice. I'm rusty. But oh well. Would be fun to see Nako on the speedrun leaderboard, but she'd have to practice a lot first. Bro, I could literally never be a speedrunner. I'm too slow and too silly to ever be a speedrunner in anything. Maybe I'll be a speedrunner in getting a bad end for this game. Well, I think it has bad ends. I'm not sure. I haven't really checked because I didn't want to get spoiled too much, so I don't really know if there are bad endings, but probably there are. Sponsor? It's not really a sponsor. I just got the game for free. I was actually like looking at that because like I was worried. I was like Googling on the stuff like, oh, is getting a game for free considered a sponsor stream? Because if it is, I have to like tag it on YouTube, right? But apparently it's not, so yeah, I just got the game for free. Hi Aries, welcome in. So yeah, let's go. Without any further ado. Also, this is us chat. Aren't we cute? We're kind of cute. It's kind of like emo girl, you know, kind of like a I don't know how to describe it, but you get what I mean, right? You get what I mean. Yeah. Let's go! We're hag maxing today. Bro, we're ultra hag maxing. Our girlfriend is like 100 years old. The flowers of summer shall wither. The leaves of autumn shall fall. Against the transient world, we are doomed to defiance, to the eternal folly of man. And so, the winter snows falls. The winter snow falls. Big words. Let's see if I'm smart enough to understand. Peak woman aesthetic for real. The cutest in the bottom right. Oh my god, you think that I'm cute? You think that I'm cute? Is this a visual novel? Yes, it's a visual novel. It's a visual novel. Whoa. Flashbang! Ah! It's us. A terrible chill hangs in the air. The season proving bitter, as it so often is here. Proving bitter, anyways, on this cold day, a great throng of students slowly shuffles through the piled snow of the university grounds. The day's lectures finally over. Some gossip freely with friends, while others fawn over their partners. Most, however, stroll silently. That would be me. Because I'm just, emo. I'm so emo and cool and mysterious and stuff, yeah. Amidst this sea of people walks one unremarkable student. Why are we being called God, the game just started and we're already getting roasted. That's crazy, dude. Hi, Wasi, welcome in. One unremarkable student among many. It went without saying that I'd go to university. I was called smart, clever, intelligent. I quietly liked the praise and saw no reason to fight others' ambitions for me. As long as people told me I was doing well, I hardly cared what I did. Kind of relatable. I see the vision. I wouldn't say I have a career in mind, nor any particular plan for the future. I barely chose this way of life at all. I simply fell into it. Things happened around me, and I followed the path of least resistance. Sad. I never considered what would happen when I had to think for myself. This is kind of relatable in a really sad way. Last row window seat in class when we just have to, bro. We are the protagonists after all. That is a necessity. She looks like a stoic student council president. I don't know. When I think of student council, I usually think of a more like confident looking person. She definitely looks smart, but she doesn't look very confident. Whoa, metro, subway. The train rattles and shakes as it trundles along the desolate city outskirts. The air inside stifling from the heaters. Stifling? Oh well. The seats always fill before I get on, so standing for the awkwardly long ride has become normal by now. With little else to do, I stare out the train with doors. My thoughts soon turn inward, as they so often do in quiet moments. Not needing to study a day of high school has paradoxically made university all the worse. Bro, this is so true. I always see, like, if somebody's way too smart in high school and they don't like need to study ever, they're always gonna study in university. Because like high school can still be like easy enough that if you just watch the class, you can get good grades. University, no, you have to study. If you don't study, you're actually gonna suffer. There's just no way. Also, I just realized the game was muted because I'm dumb. Oops. Oopsie. Y'all can hear it now, right? It's working now, right? Anyways, faced with more difficult problems and never having needed to work at understanding something before me, I found myself restless. One might turn to friends for support, but my nature seems to drive others away. I always got on better with teachers than other students in any case. Teacher's pet. I was also a teacher's pet, but that's just because I was super cool and my teachers loved me. The city outside becomes distance, in glass buildings reflecting a gray sky. The only color to be seen is that of the bright red Sapporo TV tower, its wireframe girders beaming through the white snow. Whoa! Oh, that's really pretty. Nice. Not having traveled outside of Hokkaido, it's difficult to view life here in an objective sense. The remoteness hasn't hurt the city, though, having every convenience one could possibly hope for despite its distance from Tokyo. The snow season has brought the annual increase in tourists with it, a topic of some debate given the fuss and crowding they cause. Tourists. Japan and tourists recently have a bad history. High school is hard, but uni is a nightmare difficulty, I guess. Uni is nightmare difficulty. You have to study. The hotels and snowfields continue their trade, though. As while Sapporo may be the capital of Hokkaido, their money is still sorely needed. Cranes work day and night to build new apartments, the city's population ever rising. The bustling train station is one of the most modern in the country, a landmark of glass outside and high technology inside. Even the trains themselves are kept in eerily perfect condition, as if every trip were the first of the day. Sapporo never stops changing in order to keep up, as if locked in a rivalry with Tokyo's I'm so bad at reading. I genuinely need to practice reading out loud more so that I don't struggle with visual novel playthroughs. As if locked in a rivalry with Tokyo's Yes. Is any of this right? I couldn't really say. Like me, everyone keeps going on about their day in this ever-changing city, even as the past disappears around us from modern developments, new businesses, and more money. That place now passing by the train window is where I was born, and where I expected that. Gee, okay! That escalated very fast. Perhaps it's fate that I live in this grayscale city. So fitting is it for someone like me. This is getting a bit scary for some reason. The walk from the station to my house is thankfully much shorter, though the idea of selling it and getting an apartment closer to school is something I've considered more than once. Having passed a local cemetery on the way, I enter. I'm home. Wait, that's kind of a nice house. Do I live there by myself? Having slipped off my shoes, the patter of feet on the wood echoes about as I enter the spacious living room. A flimsy plastic bag carries dinner from the nearby convenience store in one hand, while the well-worn messenger bag for school remains strapped over my shoulder. Okay, that is a nice apartment. That is a pretty nice apartment. I would like to live in a place like that. Whoa. Her rent must be crazy. MC just needs to last long enough to get to the Yuri for real. She just needs to get a girlfriend. She can't die before that. That's a nice looking house for a single person. Yeah. Damn, she rich. She's rich. She's bougie. As my eyes adjust to the light, a familiar unease comes over me. The unease of true solitude. A haunting silence hangs in the air. The room's size only magnifying the effect. Few things provoke this unsettling feeling so deeply as an empty house which shouldn't be. Wait, did my parents die? With my money largely going toward university fees and keeping the house, most of the rooms have been neglected. The table before me might appear a stately wooden construction, but it lies exposed by the veneer having flaked off a corner, exposing cheap particle board. Okay, she's not as rich as we thought she was. It's okay though, it's okay. I'll go to a furniture store and replace it sometime, I think to myself as I hang my coat and bag. Of course, sometime is vague enough that I can rationalize it away that time never coming. Oh my god, that scared the shit out of me! Oh my god, the face appearing on the corner. I took a second to realize that was a TV. I thought it was a ghost or something. Oh my god. Okay. With my food quickly growing colder, the house itself being a little warmer than the outside, I settle myself down on the cushion. The air soon fills with the studied and monotonous voice of a television news presenter as I begin to eat. The lukewarm set meal is, for better or worse, consistent in the way convenience store food usually is. The same goes for the bitter green tea which washes it down. The occasional click of chopsticks is all that serves to punctuate the uninteresting news report, the woman's voice rattling off the details of another traffic accident from the snow-covered roads. A routine day, much like any other this year. My attention is beginning to drift from this interest. My eyes settle on the cardboard box to the side of the table. I half-heartedly consider throwing it away, but like most, I decide to use it for storage. For what and when, I hardly know. It still has the shipping label attached, now that I look at it, To think that one thoughtless order of an otherwise nondescript book from some secondhand store would change so much in my life. It's the blood magic book. The idle thought confirms my plans for the evening, putting myself to work in order to calm my nerves. I turn off the television and sort the remnants of dinner into burnable and recyclable trash. With that, I take a long breath and head to the study. Even as I walk up to the stairs, I become acutely aware of the sensation from the bandages on my left arm, a now permanent reminder of this grim pastime. Oh, wow! Bro, I want to live in this house! What the hell? That is such a nice... Wow, that is a really nice room. Holy frick. Nah, there's no way. She is rich as hell. She is rich as hell. Nobody can afford to live in a place like this unless they're rich as hell. A lavish room is revealed as I enter. The musty smell of books and old furniture hanging in the air. The haphazard collection of antiques and oddities is the result of a year haunting local antique stores and online marketplaces. I have a shopping addiction. Something, anything, to take my mind off what was happening around me. Oh my god, I did not notice that fully! I did not notice that at first! Holy frick! Okay. No wonder she's intelligent, for real. Duzzle go crazy. Yeah, I feel like my allergies would suffer if I enter this room, but it's still really pretty. My eyes move down to the floor. What started as a pleasant dark wood is now blighted? With remnants of dried blood. The stains run deep, no matter how hard I've tried to clean it. The sight going unnoticed by anyone else is one of the few advantages to living alone. I mean, yeah, I feel like your parents would at least put you in like a mental hospital if somebody else saw that, you know. Yeah. Of course, Nako didn't process that pentagram as something weird. What do you mean? It was hidden behind the text box. I just didn't see it, okay? What are you implying, huh? Anyways. Stepping around the faded remnants of chalk between the wood panels, I stride over to my desk. My laptop, full of translation notes, lies to one side, while a time-worn leather-bound book lays open on the other. It's likely the oldest object from many miles around, and treated accordingly. Note: Assortite sulla natura della magia. Is that Italian? Or Latin? No, wait. Spanish? No, what language is that? It is definitely one of those. That's Italian, is it? I didn't know Italian had del. I thought that was like Spanish only, but I see. Anything for girls, anything for a girlfriend, bro. I'm desperate at this point. There's a 1 in a Brazilian chance she'd see this live chat. Hi, Massacre. Assorted notes on the nature of blood magic. Okay. The title alone made me curious. A curiosity which soon develops into obsession. Before long, that obsession turned from the intellectual to the practical. With some reverence, I carefully leafed through the pages. The words of the author, one Isabella di Moha, speak across the ages as I scan the page. Translating the Italian... Okay, it was Italian. Translating the Italian text has been slow-going, not helped by its archaic form, but what progress I've made has yielded good results. Rather, it's been my body which has slowed me more than anything else. Looking between the floor and the book several times, I attempt to visualize the patterns needed to replicate Isabella's experiments. The glyphs and patterns are strange and complex. More than one attempt ending in dismal failure. More than one attempt ending in dismal failure. Okay, I'm a little stupid. Sorry. Realizing I've begun to draw this out to avoid the necessary pain for as long as possible, I set the book down at its open page and set about the preparations. Yeah, I was bored. I was bored, guys. So we're doing blood magic today. We're like summoning a demon because you know I don't really have any video games to play, so we're gonna summon a demon today, boys. Let's freaking go. Hi, saying welcome in. Blood for the blood god, skull for the skull throne. Basically, professional reading. A dyslexic child attempts to play a visual novel on stream. Dyslexic ESL trying to play a visual novel. Taking a piece of chalk from the pile of seemingly unrelated items on my desk, I kneel down and begin to retrace the intricate plans detailed in the book's pages. Every so often standing to consult the sketches I'm using as guides. There's an odd beauty to the intricate pattern slowly appearing on the floor. One concentric ring is followed by another, mysterious symbols and figures filling the spaces between them. Isabella's process of experimentation and discovery, the result of a great mind imprisoned by her family, has been fascinating to uncover page by page as my translation progressed. Trying to replicate her results would soon prove even more intriguing. Slowly but surely, the detailing comes to an end, and the last of the lines meet. Coming to my feet, I set the chalk back down and set about the more distasteful side of the process. Oh gosh. By the heartbeat, is it too loud? Let me lower it a bit. Hold on. Menu. Let's lower it. Is it better now? I don't know. It sounds okay to me, but maybe a little high. I think I can disable the heartbeat. No. I thought I could. Lower more. I think that's better, right? It's stressing me out. I feel that. I feel that. No, it just fell out of place. I guess it's because like the character is really nervous. Maybe it's that. My heart racing. I pull up my left sleeve to well above the elbow, revealing the blotchy cream-colored bandages stretching down a good portion of my arm. There's a strange feeling in keeping something hidden, despite being surrounded by oblivious others. Little by little, I unravel the dressing, leaving enough at the top of my arm to avoid it falling. As the skin beneath is revealed, one dark red line after another blights the pale flesh around it. Some have already scarred, soreness and itching reminding me of their presence. Reaching to the desk, I take my knife in hand. The blade is nondescript by choice, bought along with random items I didn't need to avoid arousing suspicion. Bringing it to my arm, I hover above a spot below the last cut, in hopes of not interfering with its healing. My heart begins racing as the knife settles against the skin. The sound of my breathing is maddeningly crazy, loud, as it reverberates around the room, becoming ragged. My knuckles whiten as I clutch the knife's cold metal handle in my shaking palm. I dearly hope this inhumane act against myself would become more natural, but even now, my instincts scream at me to stop. Instinct isn't so easily snuffed out. As the moon's light glints off the coldly utilitarian blade, I press the tip of the knife to the side of my arm. In one practice, oh my god! Okay, that also scared me a little bit. I wasn't expecting the thing to change color. Okay, holy frick, we're using our own blood. In one practice motion, I overcome my body's pleading and force myself to slice the blade across. Pain lances through my body and mind. The gritting of my teeth, the only thing stopping my painful whimpers from escape. The tool's job's done. I throw it to the ground and clutch my arm tightly. Dark crimson fluid seeps from the open wound. soon flowing freely down my arm and over my hand. Oh my god, okay, I think I'm losing a little too much blood. Why is my vision blurry? That's a bit concerning. I think we should call an ambulance right now. Crouching down, I put myself to work to pull what attention I can from the wound. Oh wow. Putting my hand out before me, I straighten my index and middle fingers as thick, warm blood begins to drip from me. Trying my best to minimize my nervous shaking, the chalk outlines soon turn red as I trace them out at a slow but steady pace. I have to take this carefully, I remind myself. My body can't afford to do this often. Every attempt meaning days of recovery. How much blood am I using? Bro! I'm beginning to think that the blood magic part is just me hallucinating from losing too much freaking blood. Oh my god! I'm already weak, and the winter's efforts hardly help. As the last of the white chalk turns into a wine-dark red, I stand once more and glance about. The moonlight reflects off the fresh blood, as a slow trickle still dropping to the floor from my arm. A certain dissonance strikes me between the messy red spatters strewn across the floor and the intricate Byzantine patterns they form. The panicked thought of this being some descent into madness briefly passes my mind. What madman, what crazed murderer could stand in such a spectacle and think themselves sane? Okay, at least she's self-aware. Rather than fear such thoughts, I treasure them as I close my eyes shut. Okay, I'm dying 100%. It's over, chat. They're confirmation that I've not yet lost my mind. Okay. I can still see this from the outside. I'm still human. As the book says, I concentrate on imagining the symbols and patterns around me in my mind. My emotions begin to shift and ebb. My nerves somehow becoming swept along in the strangely calming sensation. Okay, this is kind of cool. This is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. Is this a ritual to summon Nako? No blood necessary. To summon Nako, all you need is a video game and a spoon of Nutella. No blood necessary. Don't worry, I'm not a vampire, I'm a cat, yeah. As if caught in a river, my thoughts begin to flow. Rather than fight it as I first did, I allow the slow and uneasy trickle to take me, surrendering to the movements in my mind. Some are pleasant, others horrendous, but all prove fleeting and impermanent. What was a river soon becomes a torrent, identifiable memories and concepts becoming abstract and indistinct. Thoughts, feelings, sensations, all merged together in a surging rush. All physical sense of my body long gone as every emotion pours through me at once. In the swirling and flowing mass, the bedrock below it all begins to sway in the swelling flood. My sense of self nudges and rocks at first, held by the deepest roots. Yet, little by little, against the surging flood. Oh my god, okay. I don't know if I'm dying or if this is working. Maybe both. Uh-oh. Am I dead? Oh, this is heaven! We're dead! Oh god. Huh? Okay, this is 100% dead. Yeah, we're in heaven. We're in heaven. We're gone. It's over. No pills, no tapioca. Tapioca could work. Tapioca would also work to summon me. Remember the salmon? All cats like salmon, right? No! I don't like fish. I don't like fish. Nako, how are we supposed to see you when we summon you? Since you're so small? I will see you. And I will enact my revenge for all the bullying. Yeah. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Anyways, microscope request. Shut up. The soft grass gently presses against my cheek, the dew of early morning contrasting to the sun's warmth. My eyes slowly open, but my body feels too heavy to move. Far from being unexpected, it's now a familiar feeling. Wait, we've done that before? My mind too dull to do anything more. I silently watch the flowers before me gently sway in the breeze, while birds squawk in the far distance. It's all so different and so warm. Oh, pretty. As if waking from a terribly long sleep, I warily pick myself up, and my senses slowly return. A cloudless blue sky hangs above, with the lush green of the unkept forest surrounding me. It's also idyllic. Chat, what does that word mean? Help me. What does idyllic mean? What is that? Here, there's no bright red tower piercing a sullen sky. The world which stretches out before me couldn't be farther from the hustle and bustle of the city I've left. Oh, it's perfect? Okay, thank you. Y'all are so smart, So we are outside. I know, right? What the hell? This is a nightmare. Why am I touching grass? Disgusting. The warmth of spring and its many scents confuses my senses, jarred by the shift from the cold winter's night I left. The only blemish on the scene is a column of faint smoke from workshops in the far distance, peeking above the tree canopies. Whoa. Okay, that forest is kind of cool. That looks interesting. Dreaming? I mean, to be honest, it does look pretty dreaming. It is like quite a nice dream scenario. The magic worked. I thoughtlessly say the words to nobody in particular. The nature of what I've done, no less surreal to me now than the scant few other times I've successfully managed it. Okay, so it's not our first time. We've been here before. Unfortunately, my senses returning to me also mean that pain is among them. Uh-oh. I quickly set about rebinding my bandages lest anyone here see the scars, now disfiguring my forearm. Groaning, I focus on making sure they're done tight and firm before fixing the ends once more. As much for myself as any other, I roll my sleeve back down afterwards to avoid the temptation to look. Adjusting my glasses and dusting myself off with my uninjured arm, I set off towards the town ahead. Nice. It's a fucking isekai! I don't think it's an isekai, but it does have isekai vibes. Like, that would be the perfect start of an isekai. The town of Sapporo. Oh yeah, we're in the same place. But in the past. Oh, that looks cool. An empty horse-drawn tram trundles along past my field of vision. The steed's hunchbacked owner patiently letting it trot along at a leisurely pace. He pays me little heed as they pass, the clatter of hooves blending with the sound of passers-by. The shadows are small, so it must be around noon. The flow of time here always throws me off. As I so often do when I come to this place, I find myself just watching. Strolling through as if in a daze, caught up in observing this strange and foreign world. Yet, this foreign-feeling world is also strikingly familiar. For reasons unknown, the magic I've been attempting, transference, has reliably transported me here. When I should be in some other country, I instead arrive in the same location, but a century ago. The strangely dressed newcomer soon lost her novelty to the people here, few giving me so much as a passing glance as they go about their day. Words can't express how glad I am for the attention fading. Wait, they just see a girl dressed in modern clothing and they got used to it. They were like, okay, you know what? Fine, I guess you're normal. Even though you're dressed in completely nonsensical clothing for the time period. Wouldn't it be easier if she just got, like, old-looking clothing? Perhaps I should be glad it's the Meiji era. My modern clothing would be just another strange dress to them. Oh, okay, that makes sense, Some of those walking before me mix Japanese and Western fashion styles, even now, to varying degrees of success. Okay, I guess it's just 100 years, right? So like if this is set in like the 2010s or 2020s, it would be like 1910 to 1920. I guess it wouldn't be that bad. It wouldn't be that bad, right? Yeah. They maybe would just think she's dressing like a Westerner or something. A couple of children run by, happily chasing one another along the street. It all feels so different to the grayscale photos and dry documentaries about the Meiji era, or about history at all. The people here feel alive and varied, from the door to the cheerful. Door? Door? There's so many difficult words! I'm not smart enough for this! Help! Getting period correct dress would be pretty amazingly expensive, but she has a house? Well, she could get like a fake one, no? Like a... To be honest, I don't know how different the kimonos are from era to era. I don't know how different they would be. Like if she got like a modern kimono, you know, like if people would still find it weird or something. Yes? Dower sounds like sour. Oh, dower. Okay. Meiji ended in 1912, right? I don't know enough of Japanese history to tell you that. I have no idea. Chat, it's her! Chat, that's her! Chat, that's her. That is their girlfriend. That is her waifu. My idle stroll comes to an end as I reach my usual destination. Outside the kabuki venue stands the brightest person here, happily seeing off someone she'd be chatting to before noticing my arrival. She said the thing. She said the thing! I see we have a visitor. Welcome back, Miss Asakawa. Asakawa? Yeah, not Asa, right? Asa. Hello, Lady Yasue. You look well as always. I've told you before, Yasue is perfectly fine. I'm glad to drop the formalities around at least one person. But I don't wanna be disrespectful. I wanna call her lady. She's a lady. Then just Honoka is alright too. Oh my god, the protagonist has such a cute voice in Japanese. Her voice is so cute, the voice acting. Despite my best efforts, I will before her sunny disposition as always. I'm hardly even able to make eye contact as I mumble my reply. Yasue takes the comments in stride, her cheeks hinting at the smile hidden behind her fan. My arm suddenly aches from my wound, causing me to reflexively reach over and clutch it. Such pain is a constant reminder of the cost to get. The tithe a normal person has to pay to mimic the magic afforded to mages. Oh! Hold on! Oh my god! Hold on! I did not know she was magical. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. True mages, such as Yasue. Her magic is no less amazing to watch now as when I first saw it. With mages so few in number in the normal world, and those that do exist keeping a low profile, I'm in some ways blessed to meet one who uses their ability so openly. Are you alright? I'm fine, just tired. Accepting my waving off of her concern, Yasue turns to begin walking, casting a glance behind her to invite me. I quickly skip up alongside her as she begins to stroll the streets, stealing the occasional furtive glance at the woman as we go. Wait, what woman? Her? I'm looking at her or she's looking at me? Well, she's a pretty person in general. I've never quite been able to place her age. She looks... I'd say she looks like a hag, right? What do you guys think? She's like between Onesan and hag. Straight up hag. Maybe 30-something. 500? Okay, hold on! Wait, I don't know. I was imagining she would have like a normal human age. You guys think that she's like, she has like elf age? I was gonna say like 30 or something. I may be terrible at guessing such things normally, but it's her hair which throws me off entirely. I'd call it bleached white, but it looks natural despite her youthful face. Maybe it's because she's a mage, you know? Finding myself self-conscious, I run a hand through my bangs to neaten them, before adjusting my glasses just so. I'm not particularly good at things like fashion, but for this one person, I want to put in some kind of effort. Look at her, wanting to look pretty for her crush. Cute, very cute. Ageless 40-something zone? Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. She look around 35? Yeah, I think she's around that old. Where are you headed? Nowhere in particular. The day's performance is over, so I thought I'd have a stroll to wind down. Wind down. While I appreciate the company, do tell me if you tire. I'm well aware you tried to hide it, but I have noticed the toll these adventures take on you. This is too realistic. Takes a short 15-minute walk, dies. Freaking out of breath, sweating, dying. I feel you, protagonist. She does her best to make the remarks as gently as possible, but her point is made. I'd been hoping she was in trouble over such things, but it's hardly the first time she's seen right through me. It all feels so surreal. It's hard to believe this is how my own city looked like a century ago. I'm sure we all must look rather quaint to someone so far in the future. What brought on this line of thought? Just thinking back to when I first arrived here. You were like a little lost kitten back then. Not quite the image of who I thought might find this place. Wait, was she the one that made us find it? Was she like the person that like opened the portal or something? Nako is 45 years old, bro. Why do I have to be a hag in your guys' minds? I'm not a hag. Imagine what caveman would think of modern time person being tired after a 5-minute walk. Yeah, bro. Our ancestors that would like walk all day and like hunt animals, they would be so disappointed when they met like, I don't know, the average sedentary person that can barely walk like a freaking kilometer without dying. Yasue punctuates her observation with a churlish laugh, raising my spirits. Ooh. As we head onto a side street, Yasue stops to greet a friendly hauler walking by. The man happily begins to chat as he adjusts the yoke across his broad shoulders, sacks of goods tied to either end. Not wanting to intrude, I let my thoughts drift back once again. I stumbled about in the grips of terror for some time, wandering into the town knowing nothing of where I was or how to escape. Nearly frozen in fright, I slinked along the side of the streets, onlookers struck by the bizarre clothing I wore. How fortunate I was for some children to run and fetch Yasue. When she first caught sight of me, I wondered which of the two of us was the more surprised. She sensed I was of a different time than the others, and took me under her wing without a second thought. Oh wow! I like her. Honestly, they probably see us take out a burger and understand. Or a pizza! I mean, yeah, they would be very... Honestly, I think that cavemen would love burgers and pizza. Like, can you imagine? That's like, they would have to hunt for hours and hours to get the same amount of calorie. And we just had to, like, you know, open an app on our phone and order the food. Holy frick, we are such disappointments. Modern people, oh, wow. Takis would straight up kill a caveman, though. Yeah. The amount of sugar in it alone would mind blast them. Possibly. Enough sugar to kill a Victorian child. Even now, I still feel like her helpless kids. Okay! What in the Discord Okay. She doesn't know the scene in my world which led to that first journey, though. I wonder if she'd think differently of me for it. As the hauler shuffles off and we start walking once more, Yasue speaks up. Few of our conversations are started by me, though she seems unbothered by this. How have you been? You spoke of life being peaceful? Peaceful. I suppose so. Things are largely the same as ever. I go to school, come home, eat dinner, and sleep. As for you, this world only contains Sapporo and its people, right? Yasue nods solemnly. I dislike reminding her of the fact, but I have only the most vague understanding of such things. Wait! It's not just a path, it's like actually an alternate reality. Okay, this is getting more interesting. When we were sealed away all those years ago, this world became an unchanging one. That's all it will ever be for us, I suppose. Well, until you arrived. Imagine my shock to have someone from the real world arrive after so long. Who sealed them away, though? She giggles once more, smiling to herself at the memory. How easily she laughs off her own past awkwardness. The first impression I had of Yasue was perhaps the expected one. So many photos blend together of people in formal outfits, stiff poses, and stern, serious faces. While they may try to humanize history in school, there's only so much a museum trip or a classroom lecture can do. My preconceptions would be dispelled in moments. In so many ways, she juxtaposed her ladylike properness with a carefree spirit. Her hair is lavishly cared for, yet flows freely rather than being tied up. Go back, history, okay. Hold on. I accidentally skipped something. Her speech is archaic and uses long, obsolete words, only for her to chat naturally and openly. She dresses traditionally, yet gestures widely, and wears her emotion on her sleeve. I know full well I'll be going over every conversation we have in my head for days, not weeks, to come. Angsting over every misstep or hesitation, and overthinking every expression or pause. Yet Yasue will do no such thing. Everything flows off her. It's graceful, in a manner, albeit not quite in the way I expected that word to be used, for someone of an era barely past samurai and daimyo. Sorry if I'm a disappointment. If I could save you from this world, I would. You may not be a grand mage, but I'm glad to have met you. Perhaps it's for the better that the first to come here would be someone like you. I need to save her? Wait, I can save her? Oh my god. Oh my god. Please tell me that I can, like, save her and then bring her to the present with me, because that would be literally the coolest thing ever. So she is Shakespeare. If Shakespeare was a baddie hag, yes. Would, definitely would. Don't worry, we will. Not knowing how best to react to her praise, I bashfully look away. My driving desire to be complimented is one of my uglier traits. Nah, I get you. I understand. praise is very cool. I can only hope it's one of the few things Yasue hasn't perceived in me. I soon realized I began rubbing my arm out of anxiety. For all her praise, I still feel as if I'm telling a lie by omission. How would a mage react to finding the one before them is some regular person mimicking their abilities through such methods? Oh, she doesn't know! May I ask you a question on that topic? Feel free not to answer if you prefer. Go ahead. How old are you? You can't ask a lady her age, madam. How could she just ask my age like that? Well, we're in college, so we're probably like 20-something, right? I must admit, you seem young for a mage of this skill. The jump in topic forces me to think over the answer for a moment. I can't will myself to tell the truth when she gives such a convenient excuse not to. I turned 20 a few weeks ago, I think. Wait, so she's not 20? Is she also a hag? Or is she no, she can't be younger than that because she is in university and she lives alone, right? So you haven't... I haven't... What? She trails off before finishing her sentence, her expression concerned. I'm left at a loss for words, only growing worse as the spark of realization brightens her face. Yasue? Follow me, please. I promise I'll make it worth your while. Once again, I find myself working to catch up with the cheerful woman. Cool. She could be 19? Well, I guess, but like, if she was going to lie her age, why would she lie her age by only 1 year? I feel like if you're gonna lie about your age, you're gonna like add a couple of years. No? Yeah. Or like lower a couple of years. Dim lamps struggle to illuminate the tables around us. The Izakaya's air filled with the chatter of patrons and a heavy scent of tobacco. With liquor flowing freely and so many in the tight space, the air's taken on a distinctly muggy feel. Many of the animated faces around us flushed a bright red. My gaze rests on the waitress skittering from table to table, dainty feet in sandals tapping quickly to keep up with the pace of orders. It's a little uncanny. Everything about the experience is so close to a normal restaurant, yet just different enough to throw me off. As always, I do my best to avoid accidentally catching the eye of anyone in particular. Yasue does no such thing, instead looking at me with an indulgent smile. She's rizzing me up, jeez. Girl, you don't look a day over 94! Basically, the secret is that she's also 94. I mean, you start uni at 18, but I doubt she's whipping out blood magic 1 month into uni. Yeah, that's the thing, like, it feels like the way that she talks about having a routine, like, I would guess she's around, like, 22, maybe. Like, I would guess she has been in college for a while, you know? I'm not sure I understand. If this is for my birthday, it's really not a big deal. At this, Yasue makes a show of pouting. You never let me spoil you. I know your world has many lovely things, but I'd like to treat you to at least once with what we have to offer. That's kinda cute, not gonna lie. It's not like I mind. It's just... Old man, some local beer for this young lady, if you please. Oh my god. She's buying me dinner, chat. You know what comes after that, right? My secret skincare routine is 1 cup of black tea every morning. Damn, that does that much? Why is she talking to chat? Chat, come on. Chat, hey, old man, come on. Bring us some beers right now. The man beyond the counter, as yet unseen, yells out his agreement in a hoarse voice. Wait, I mean, I'm still 20. I haven't tried drinking yet. And what better time to try? I easily give up my protest in light of how happy she is to be treating me like this. I have been too shy to fumble my way through dealing with a bar, and I wouldn't know what alcohol would be good to start with in the first place. Isn't beer bad? I don't know, I've never tried beer, but I heard that it's like really bitter. I don't think I would like it, because I'm not really into bitter stuff. Our drinks arrive quickly. The old man, perhaps the owner, personally bringing the bottles and glasses to our table. Yasue doesn't notice my confusion as she stops to pull out the cork in each. Even I know these usually have bottle caps. 40 sen, thank you. That expensive? I have no idea how much that is. It is bitter. Beer's terrible in my opinion. Yeah, I don't think I would really like it. I don't like bitter drinks at all. Like, I only drink bitter stuff if there's a lot of sugar, like coffee. I only drink coffee with a lot of sugar. Yasue quickly obliges, passing him 2 odd silver coins. This is the first time I've actually seen sen being used. Regardless, the man cheerfully takes them before hobbling back off the pass curtain. I hadn't taken her for a beer drinker, but she's clearly looking forward to this more than I as she gives an eager smile. Trying to paper over my confusion, I quickly take one of the bottles in hand, supporting in one hand and tipping with the other. I gently pour the amber liquid into my cup, now held by my senior's delicate, spindly fingers. Yasue returns the gesture soon after, an inviting, thick, foamy head forming on the glass I cradle. The calmly bubbling beer gives off a floral scent. Floral? A sharp contrast to the mess of crimson which brought me here. The smell of blood now uncomfortably familiar. Why are you thinking about the blood? What? Usually my experience with drinkers is either you're drinking for taste or drinking for the effect, and beer is usually better for the latter. That makes sense. Hi Dia, welcome in. Spindly sound like sound. Oh my god, like with spin to win. Okay, so spindly. I peer over my drink to Yasue, her gaze patiently gauging my reaction. Perhaps it's my distrust of others, or my own anxieties causing me to overthink every gesture. But I find myself unable to plainly accept what would be a kind gesture. Is it really okay to treat me to all of this? I feel like I've done nothing for you, but you keep treating me so nicely. You don't want to celebrate your birthday? It's not even my birthday. I just straight up, like, I lied to her so hard. Can you increase the background music? Should I? Hold on. Like that? Is that good? Nako's having a kilb moment right now. So cute. Yeah. Me playing visual novel. Actually, me playing any game that has text that I have to read out loud. I always mess it up. I'm bad at reading out loud. No, it's not that at all. It's just... I had expected Yasue to defend herself. Instead, she stares at me intently, as if examining an interesting specimen before her. Maybe this is no different to how we've been interacting this whole time. Another of her elaborate plays, but this time without a script to hand. What the hell is... What does that mean? Hold on, huh? Each of us left to take our cues from the other, judging and moving in step with the other. I think I'm too autistic. To understand this. One day Nako's just going to be, alright chat, sick of reading all day. All of you learn Japanese right now. Exactly. Chat, please learn Japanese so that I can at least not read the speaking parts. She thinks you're an alien. Valid. Not gonna lie. As a particularly rowdy patron gives a boisterous laugh beyond us, Yasue smiles and closes her eyes in defeat. Perhaps I've been coming on too strong. I apologize. I spent so long without new company that I am slightly terrified that I might lose you at any moment. Hold on, let me drink some water. Jeez, girl! Chat, she's flirting. There's no way. She's flirting so hard. Water. She's already describing the social... She really is describing the social dance between two partners who want to examine one another but keep their own information covered. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm too autistic. But now I get it. Damn, seems like you're already in. I didn't even have to try. Once again, immaculate Riz. The devs knew that I would not be able to get this girl, so they just made her get me instead. Yeah. Nako really said, "Geez, lady, take me out first," and she said, "Bet!" Basically. Of course she'd be scared. She's been sealed away for so long. Everyone here has been. That I'm important enough to Yasue for her to feel that way about me, even if it's only by circumstance, is oddly nice. It's been so long since I felt needed by someone. The least I can do is appreciate her generosity. Then, I'll make you a promise. I'll always keep coming here, and as often as I can. I mean it as a student as well. This world's practically a time capsule of history after all. So I'm a history student? Or am I just saying that to look cool? So, please share this drink with me. Not for my birthday, but to agree on that promise. That's so sweet. Her smile is enough of an answer. The pent-up tension in my body releasing. An odd sense of purpose sparks inside of me. The first I've perhaps felt in my life. With that, we both lift our glasses to our lips and take a long sip. In the end, I only had a few sips of the bitter stuff. I knew it was gonna be bitter. Thankfully, Yasue was only too happy to oblige in drinking both our bottles. And a couple more besides. Jeez! Okay, she really likes alcohol. Classic hag move. It seems the taste of alcohol will take some getting used to. Yeah, it doesn't look very appetizing. I heard that drinking before evening is odd, let alone at noon. Yasue seems to hardly care though. Her face now flushed and gestures decidedly more animated. Oh my god. She looks kinda cute with her little face blushing. Of all the images I had of a lady from the Meiji era, the joyful, carousing woman skipping beside me isn't one of them. As she gives me a slight, uneven smile, I offer a polite bow. Bow. Thank you, Yasue. Today has been fun. Sorry for not having more. Drinking will take some building up to. If I can muster up the courage to have another. I'd be delighted to join you, if you do. Perhaps it's a drink, or simple tiredness, but I find the corners of my mouth lifting, just a little. Bro, the protagonist is such a sad girl that she's surprised that she's smiling. That's crazy. That is freaking crazy. Why do you think they made it based on magic they knew you couldn't pull without it? How dare you? I absolutely could. Some beers have so much hops in them that it's a face-twistingly bitter, way harder to tolerate than the alcohol itself. What is a hop? What is this feeling in my cheeks? Am I sick? Basically. I wonder if the stupor will last in the real world, now that I think of it. The passing thought only reminds me of the greater lie. Perhaps it's genuine honesty after hearing her own, or the drink making me less inhibited, but I want to tell her the truth. Sorry, chat. Yasue, there's something I want to tell you. The reason I can't help you escape isn't just that I don't know how. It's... I'm not a mage, Yasue. Not like you. I'm just another person. But if that's the case, how did you... As I glance about at the people going about their day around us, Yasue sensed my want for privacy. Come, follow me. Are we going to her house? Oh. Okay. Okay. I thought we were going to her house. I thought she was going to take me to her house. Hops are basically the plant used to make beer more or less. Oh, I see. Bless you, thank you. Anyways, after a fair hike well beyond the town's limits, we arrive at the edge of the forests surrounding Sapporo. There's a peaceful serenity to this place that I've yet to find in my own world. Please, tell me what's worrying you. Whatever it is, Honoka, I accept it. The fact that she cares makes me feel happy, but it stings in my heart. But it stings my heart so. She doesn't know. She couldn't know. Taking a long breath to steady myself, I look down in shame and pull my left sleeve upwards, tug by tug. Before long, the bandages show. Their length chases further and further up my arm. The beige gauze discolored by a blotch of bright scarlet. Fresh blood has pooled by now, the wound still proving sore as my sleeve drags over it. As I dare to look up at Yasue, the woman wears a mournful expression. It's striking compared to her gentle demeanor. What have you done to yourself? I'm not that sure of how it all works, to be honest. I found a book which someone wrote a long time ago about how a normal person could summon magic like a mage does by second nature. Somehow, I'm not sure of the mechanics. It lets me do things like this, but needs my blood to work. They call it blood magic. In Italian, anyway. I'm back. What did I miss? We came back to the past. We yapped at our hag girlfriend. She bought us beer. We didn't like the beer. And now we're telling her that we're not actually a mage like she is, because she's like an actual mage. But we have to use blood magic for that. That's what happened so far. Beige gauze is surprisingly hard to say. Try saying it 5 times fast. Bro, I can barely say it 1 time slow. In response to my fast-paced explanation, her eyes close. I can see the gears turning inside, the connection between my general frailty and rapid exhausting when visiting now plain. I know what she's going to say next. Neither of us want to hear the words. It's not as if I'm dying or anything. It's hard on my body, I can admit that. But for this... Please, Yasue, I want to keep seeing you. Chat. I'm kind of... This is like cute. It's sad, but it's cute. She thinks for some time, before giving a heartbreaking smile of defeat. I can't very well force you to stop it, can I? I'd rather she have scolded me. Without any further defense to be made, I fall silent while looking at nothing in particular. Take care of yourself, Honoka. I'm glad to have met you. You have no idea how so. But please don't do anything that would risk your life. Do you understand? I understand. I'm sorry to have worried you. Oh god. Chat, she's close to me. She smells like plants. Sorry. Anyways. As I scuff my feet on the grass in angst, I notice Yasue's shadow moving nearer. By the time I look back up, my body freezes at how close she's come. Without a word, she reaches out with those long, dainty fingers and grasps the corner of my glasses, subtly evening their position on my face. So you like video games? Literally me, bro. That would be my actual reaction. With that, Yasue steps back and smiles simply. That's what we elders are meant to do, silly. Don't make it weird! You made it weird, lady! Come on! She made it weird, chat. Chat, she made it weird. She made it weird. Her point made, Yasue's smile slowly wears off. The time to say goodbye draws near. When the next visit will be is difficult to say, but the fact it will come is certain. I'm not sure if it's imagined or not, but I feel Yasue's become more comfortable with that fact. Understandable for a mage seeing their first visitor in 100 years. Take care, Honoka. Look at her smile, chat! She made it weird, says the girl who sniffed her. Listen, I'm outside of the fourth wall, okay? She doesn't know. She doesn't know I sniffed her. I'm outside the fourth wall. I'm allowed to be a weirdo. Thanks. I'll see you again. Flashbang! Whoa, okay. Oh my god, that scared me. That scared me. I thought she was dead, bro. My head presses to the hard wood beneath. It's hard, cold surface rousing me. Girl, you need to go to the hospital. Clearly opening my eyes, I let myself stay in place as my senses slowly return to me. The smell of musty books, chalk, and blood plays on my nose. The sense making an unpleasant concoction. My body feels impossibly heavy. The stupor seems to be gone entirely, lost to the world I just left. But the experience of transference takes a heavy toll on my strength. I need to go to the hospital. That is a lot of blood to lose. Humans, adults only have like 3 to 5 liters of blood. That's, oh god. She doesn't know I sniffed her. That does not make it better, Nako. Yes, it does. Wasn't weird enough to stop her from blushing and going Doki nuclear. I'm outside the fourth wall. I'm allowed to be weird. Nako 2025. Exactly. You get it. Nah, cost too much. I'll just sleep this off. It will be fine. But she's Japanese. Are hospitals expensive in Japan? I have no idea, honestly. I don't think they have free healthcare, but I don't think it's that bad, right? I've never seen a Japanese person complaining that healthcare is super expensive there, so she could go to the hospital. She's in Japan. Forcing myself to stand, I stagger to my feet with a hand on my desk for support. I find myself unable to do anything but stand idle in the cold, empty room. My tired eyes stare blankly out the window, the moon's dim light reflecting off the bare branches of winter. I still love this room though, it's so pretty. Okay, not gonna lie, that image scared the shit out of me. Why does she look so much like Yandere? That blood doesn't even look like it's hers. It looks like she just murdered somebody. Silence hangs in the air. moonlight illuminating motes of dust floating in the evening's darkness. My head feels empty. No matter how hard I try to form so much as a fleeting thought. Simple exhaustion, I tell myself. With little desire to do anything else, I begin the walk to the bathroom before settling in for the night. The floor still bears the scars of my work. The book, which started it all, laying open amid a disorganized desk. I'll get some cleaning supplies and wash some of the mess, I think to myself. Sometime. Not the sometime again. Okay. We're alive, which is cool. It's cool that we're alive. Oh! The flowers of summer shall wither. The leaves of autumn shall fall. Against the transient world, we are doomed to defiance, to the eternal folly of man. And so, the winter snow falls. Damn, that was... Oh, this is the opening scene! Okay, that was like the prologue. That was cool. Prologue? Is that how you pronounce that? Anyways. So our soul is getting transferred to another world? I think so. I think it's like... So, the girl, Yasue, told us that she was sealed. So, like, I think some sort of magic happened that made those people from that time period be, like, locked where they are. So much so that the only place that exists in that world is that city. Nothing else exists, right? So, Yasue is a mage, and she wants to... Oh wow, that I like that character. Oh, I like those tomboys! This game has tomboys! Hold on! Oh, I was too slow. Oh, this one is also... Why are they all pretty? Why are they all pretty? Hold on, I got distracted by the pretty ladies. What was I talking about? I got distracted by the pretty ladies. So I can get a harem of hags? I don't think so. I think it's like a more linear. I think it's like a more linear story. I think. Like, I think we can only date Yasue. Also, hold on. Let me check something. Really quick. It's important. Wait. This was Act 1, Scene 2, right? That's what it said? I think so. Let me just check. Okay, Act 1, Scene 2. Because we can't stream past Act 2, Scene 1 until Monday. After Monday, I can play the whole rest of the game. But today, we can only go up to Act 2, Scene 1. So remind me, don't let me get past that, okay? Yeah. With the taste of coffee from the station lingering in my mouth, I idly watch the scenery scroll by with wary eyes. Another day begins, my daily routine now so deeply ingrained that getting to the university requires little more than muscle memory. While I may want to visit Yasue again, practicing blood magic won't be possible until my body has some more time to recover. Until then, I've little choice but to live out another day in this world. Well, she could like speedrun blood production, you know, like drink a bunch of water and eat a bunch of meat. Yeah, exactly. Why is that? I think maybe it's because it was released very recently. It was released like a couple of weeks ago. So the devs asked me not to stream up from that point until Monday. But after Monday, we're free to stream the whole game. So I'll probably finish it on stream with you guys, yeah. Okay. I counted among my worst traits, but I've always had a tendency to eavesdrop. What a gossip woman. My attention drifts from one conversation between passengers to another. living vicariously through others without the bother of involvement in their lives. Others, why is my English so bad today? Oh my god. Others seem to be in a good mood from overheard clips of conversations. One salaryman talks to another about looking forward to the end of the week, being a Friday. Schoolboys chat about their plans for the weekend and the new game they're into. My life may have stopped, but those of others have kept moving. Plucking my phone from my bag for a distraction, I begin to check various messaging apps to get across what I've missed. Plans are made and rumors spread, while cute pictures and jokes are posted. Wait, she does have real life friends? Is that it? So that people won't just watch the game on stream instead of buying and playing it? Yeah, I think they wanted to give like at least a few days, you know, before yeah. You get what I mean? Because they knew your reading skills can't handle that. Yeah, I'm struggling, bro. While I might have tried to keep in contact with friends from previous schooling, we inevitably drifted apart without the connection of being classmates. These days, such morning browsing just covers the day's news and message board threads. Okay, don't have friends. Never mind. Never mind. Wait, she does have real life friends chat when Nako tells her about the D&D sessions? Leave me alone, okay? I'm not that much of a loser. Shut up. Shut up. Now I want to see Nako play Disco Elysian with turn-off narrator to see her suffering with pronouncing French stuff. Excuse me, I can pronounce French pretty well. I used to study French, okay? I could definitely pronounce it. I struggle more with English properly. Like, the thing is not that it's a language problem. I'm just bad at speaking out loud. The thing is, I struggle with reading like this because I have to read the thing out loud for the first time. Like, I'm reading the thing for the first time. But if I read the text first and then I say it out loud, I think I would be better at that. But that would take too long. So, yeah. Not good at reading out loud like this. Cool. Oh! The ghost. Her ghost is right there. It's right behind her. It's funny how different this is to Yasue's time. She couldn't... The screeching of the train brakes put an abrupt halt to my thoughts. What happened? People yelping in surprise at the unexpected shuddering. The stop is so sudden that I'd have fallen if not for putting a foot out before me. What the hell just happened? The momentary chaos at the end. I right myself and slip my phone back into my bag. Discontented passengers question and murmur as the train comes to a stop, far from any station. That does not sound good. Soon quieting as a monotone voice from above echoes about the carriage. We apologize for the inconvenience. This train is currently stopped due to an accident on the line. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The short, almost curt message only causes more consternation among the passengers. Others around me begin to quietly chat between themselves, some wondering if a train ahead of us broke down, or if the bitter cold has caused line problems. Some wonder out loud if someone's died. The scandalous excitement to... Excitement? What in the hell? These people are psychos! What do you mean? Huh? The scandalous excitement to their whispers barely hit... Okay, that's messed up. That is messed up, bro. For many people on internet, English is not their first language, myself included. Yeah. I know a bunch of bilingual people who learn English from online, so they always swap between British and American English. Bro, sometimes I do that. I used to say, like, mobile, and I then found out that mobile was the British pronunciation, and I didn't even know that. Yeah. I do that, but it's really rare. Mostly I just speak American English. Oh gosh. Seconds turn to minutes. the train showing no signs of moving for some time yet. The more impatient passengers pace about the aisle, though most settle into reading books or phones. Bro, I would be curious as hell though. I would try to look outside the window. With the heat inside only growing more stifling, I look over at the snow-covered world outside with some longing. As I do, a movement catches my eye from the tracks below. Uh-oh. It is a dead person. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Why was it red? Why was it red? Why was it red? Catching a glimpse of blue. Of blue? I realize I've seen something I shouldn't have. Uh-oh. A man in light blue coveralls slowly makes his way along the gravel towards the front of the train, his face downcast. Dirtied gloves hold a large roll of blue. I have no idea how to say this word. I'm assuming it's one of those fabrics that you use to cover stuff. Under his right arm. I've seen that material in the news. There's only one reason it would be used now. Okay, it's a dead person. Uh-oh. That's a full spelling of tarp? Tarpaulin? Like that? I don't think anyone has actually said tarpaulin in decades. Yeah, I had never heard that word like said out loud. Suddenly finding myself restless, I turn back towards the other passenger. All that faces me is a scene of mild discontent at their mundane routine disrupted, ignorant to the cause. Without anything to do with the knowledge I have, I simply take out my phone and begin to scroll through the newsfeed once more. And so, one more passenger discontentedly waits for their routine to resume. And that's messed up. Whoa. Is that a classroom? Ooh. Bro, the freaking scene, like the scenery, environments. The environments in the game are so well drawn. They're so nice. The day slowly draws to an end. My last daylight hours spent in the university library, as they often are. I like that library a lot. I like libraries. I see books, I get excited. The desk where the elderly librarian once sat lies empty, her shawl left draped over the chair's back as a small, perhaps unintended, tribute. Ever since she retired, the school had struggled to hire another. The two of us had shared a silent agreement. I often remained in the library long past closing time, allowed to studying while providing quiet company to the old lady as she worked to close up for the day. I enjoyed our quiet coexistence, free from expectations of more. Oh! Pretty lady. That's the new librarian?! Okay, that's crazy. I thought she was like another student. A book sliding into place on a shelf ahead rouses me from my reverie, the new librarian busily working away. It's cute. One Shino Kikuchi, according to the email which introduced the newest member of staff. Only hired in the last month, she's a stark difference from her elder in so many ways, not the least of which begin with her age. If I had to guess, she'd be in her early 20s at most. At least one thing is alike between them. She, too, lets me stay well into the evenings. Perhaps the old librarian passed a note to her. I'm thankful, in any case. I hate being an imposition, but the school provides a far better environment for studying, given the solitude and loneliness of my faraway home. I mean, I would love studying in that study room that she has in her house, but maybe that's just me. Looking back down to the book before me, a mundane bit of research material for my course, the words begin to dance as I try to read. The more I try to focus on the passages, the more my thoughts skate away. The same happened with lectures throughout the day. One shudder or another in those last moments before the train stopped was what a human's life ending feels like. In that instant, their wanderings in this world ended. Yet, I have no other to tell. The same goes for the bandages running up my arm. They serve as an ever-present reminder of how little I have in common with anyone around me. She's talking to me! The lady's talking to me! I'm gonna get a friend, yay! I should have said this a while ago, but thanks for the company. Hi, lady! Okay, she looks so cool. I really like how she looks. The unexpected voice from the shelves ahead makes my head jerk upwards. I hadn't realized how rattled I had been from the morning experience. My heart only now returning to its normal pace now that I have a distraction. Like so many others, the woman wears a smile so easily. I can't help but muse how odd she looks for a librarian. From her athletic clothing to how every movement bellies a barely suppressed energy. Belies. Thank you for letting me stay. Evidently bored of her menial work in shelving books, Shino takes my reply as an invitation to have a proper conversation. Setting down the book in her hand, she comes over and spins a chair about, sitting herself sideways in a rather inelegant way. Come on, why can't this game have multiple routes? I want to romance this chick too. While the relationship between Yasue and I may have a certain push and pull as we feel out each other's boundaries, Shino has no such concerns. Even now, her bright eyes move from me to the textbook in my hands, happily seizing on an opening to get closer to me. You can read Italian? That's cool. I know a few languages too. That's the way the world is these days, right? I guess so. I need it for my degree. So she wants to chat. That, too, is a difference between Shino and the previous librarian. One I like rather less. Something throws me off about her. All the more so now that we're close. I can't quite put my fingers on it though, making me feel bad once again for being so distrustful towards someone so friendly. Bro, this protagonist needs to go to a freaking psychologist, bro. Okay, or maybe I am too... Okay, here's the thing. Am I the one being too easy? Because I see a pretty girl and I trust her instantly? Or is the protagonist being too paranoid? I can't really tell. It's 1 AM for me. Going to sleep now. Bye-bye, Nick. Have a nice evening. She clearly wants your kidneys, girl. Don't be fooled. Sure. Good night, Benny, as well. As if in answer to my want to end the conversation, a playful ping resounds from Shino's pockets. Her hand dives into her pocket, quickly retrieving her phone to examine the message. Her face lights up as she starts reading, the woman looking like a child given a new toy as she begins scrolling something or another with her full attention. I don't particularly mind. We all have our appointments and such. A minute or so later, she fumbles with an on-screen kana keyboard, slowly dragging her thumb across the grid to carefully type in her reply. Noticing my excitedly baffled staring upon sending her message, she gives a grin. These things are pretty cool, aren't they? They might just been for chatting before, but now it's all for cyberspace right in your pocket. The modern world's amazing. You can talk to anyone in the world so easily, or read an entire library. Hold on a second. Wait a... Chat. Hear me out. Is she from the past? Is she from the past? What if she is the person from the past that sealed Miss Yasue in that place? That would kind of be very interesting. Cause like no modern person is that surprised at a phone. Also, cyberspace? She's from the past. I'm calling it. Probably gonna be wrong. Oh my god, and the protagonist also commented on the same thing. What an antiquated way of speaking. I've never heard cyberspace used by anyone. At least not without a thick sense of irony. Chat, I think I'm right. Chat, I think I'm right. Without intending to, I let my confusion show on my face. Did I say something wrong? No, not at all. It's just, I thought everyone was used to phone these days. She quickly puts her phone away into a pocket and takes to her feet once more, slightly embarrassed for my picking up on it. Well, how should I put this? I grew up in the country, so it's only recently that I've been able to try things like this. Computers and smartphones are all new to me, really. Bro, she's 100% from the past. I can feel it. I can feel it. I'm calling it, bro. If I'm right, I'm gonna be so excited. I suppose being a country bumpkin would explain it, though. Though I thought even the most remote corners of Japan would at least have the cheaper smartphones around by now. If someone like Shino finds phones so exciting, maybe Yasue will too. Getting any signal for internet access is obviously a non-starter, though. What made you come to the city, then? Adventure, in a word. I tend to drift between jobs, taking on whatever is interesting. So, this is just temporary for you too? How long are you staying? She gives a simple shrug. Until I get bored of this one, I guess. What an odd attitude. I'd vaguely heard of people who drift from job to job as their whims take them. But this is my first time meeting someone like that. I'd be lying if I said if I weren't a little envious of her approach to things. Isn't that hard? Nah. As long as you have the right attitude, life gets a lot easier. You have to dedicate yourself to something along the way, I think. Even if it's something small, I always try to set things right in the world. If I can keep myself thinking that, what's going on at any one time isn't a big deal. Her words are said with such innocent naivety that I'm thrown off by the strange woman before me. It's not that I disbelieve that a drive to accomplish something is good, but more that it's hard to believe someone when they so earnestly cling to it. Practically anything I've gotten myself into of late would be problematic to actually discuss with someone else, leaving me with nothing to continue the conversation. Thus, the distance between myself and others grow that little bit more. Well, she could just find like in a cult club or something like that. You know, if she finds like people that like horror stuff, they would probably be interested in her stories. That isn't to say the carefree librarian is wrong, though. If there's any cause, any single thing I can believe in, it's freeing Yasue from that sealed world. She, of all people, doesn't deserve that fate. I alone have the knowledge to even find her. Prompted by the thought of Yasue, my mind soon begins wandering of its own accord. If Shino wants to talk, I might as well try to get something useful out of her. I was wondering, do you know anything about mages? If that works, that is gonna confirm my suspicion. She looks a little... Okay, hold on. I'm getting caught vibes. It looks like we caught her red-handed. That's quite the change in topic. I saw a news article about a mage who works as a doctor a few days ago. Just made me curious. Wait! Are mages, like, common in the world? Like, are there just, like, mages, like, living around, and is that normal? That's not entirely a lie. The odd news article or documentary about mages catches my eye these days, now that I know one. Okay, wait! Shino shifts about, discomforted by the subject. Okay, she's 100%. She quickly tries to paper over her reaction, upon realizing I've noticed. Chat, I think I predicted it. They're an interesting lot, aren't they? There's so few around that you rarely get to see magic actually being used. It's more that it's weird how people so different could be right beside us. That their experiences are so different, but nobody could tell. Do you think so? Your average mage isn't much different to a regular person, you know? It's sad how people are so distrustful of magic. I suppose they do keep their heads down here, though. Besides, powerful mages are something else, right? In Europe, they live way more openly, and have ancient bloodlines who own whole palaces. What government would try to police you if you could break the laws of nature on a whim? Okay, so they are like, people are aware of mages' existence, but they're not common. They're just something that isn't... Okay, I think I get it. It's not like a... What do you mean, mages? That's a fairy tale for children. Okay. So many mages and so little burning state. No burning mages. Hi, Leah, welcome in. Yeah, she definitely is a mage. Yeah, she's too nervous to not beat it. I suppose that's why people get so cautious around mages, though. People fear what's different. Well, I can only imagine how a powerful mage must have been able to steal away a whole portion of the world. The entirety of old Sapporo and its people, carved away from reality and lingering for an eternity. How anyone there hasn't gone mad is beyond me. Shino's earnestness is no less visible on this topic than the last. Her angst over people's dislike of mages is quite clear. She hardly seems the type to hide her feelings, earning her some degree of trust, even if I do dislike her nosiness. She wasn't nosy. Realizing the time is getting on as the sun begins to set further, I file away Shino as a potential source of information, as I get up and slide the book into my bag. Heading home? I should head back before I get too tired. Thank you again for letting me stay so long. My pleasure. Endlessly stacking books in this big building all by myself gets lonely. Cool. So this is a modern fantasy world? I think it's like a modern low fantasy world where like fantasy exists and it's like accepted, but it's very rare. I think that's it. Fear? I do that purely out of hatred. You do that out of jealousy. You're jealous that you can't be a mage. With that, I give an appreciative nod before pulling my coat from the seat and slinging it over my shoulders, my bag following before I start shuffling out of the library. It wasn't a lie that I needed to head back before I got too tired, but the reason goes unsaid. Tonight, I'll renew my efforts on studying my other reading material. If I'm to devote myself to some cause or another, then that cause will be something only I can do. My concerns already begin to feel fleeting as I focus myself on the task ahead. From now on, my purpose in life will be freeing Yasue from her gilded cage. Whoa. a different time. Whoa! Okay, that's interesting. Sword and spear ring out as they clash, voices bellowing and men falling as their vibrant cloth swirls about in the violence. No less vivid are the heartfelt expressions, from the deepest fury to a most devastating anguish. From my seat in the audience, I watch on silently with rapt fascination. I'm just gonna read the translated one. The treasury of loyal retainers. A tale of 47 Ronin and their quest to avenge their master, caught between loyalty to their late lord and the duty to the shogunate. Wait, is that like real historical Japanese art? Because it looks really cool. Are you playing this on PC? Yeah. The story reaches its bloody conclusion, the villain cut down and their lord's spirit at peace. For going against the shogun, however, all will sacrifice themselves for their deeds. It's a stirring performance, the actors' heartfelt cries and gestures feeling more visceral than any picture on a screen. Like most my age, I thought theater a little old-fashioned, obsolete by movies and TV shows. How wrong I was. Cool. The crowd's applause, joined by my own, echoes about as the heavy curtains draw across the stage. Another fine work coming to an end. The play is apparently frequently performed here, being very popular in its time and a favorite of Yasue. Oh, she's back in the past already! It's no wonder either. This is a heartfelt tale of honor in an era in search of a cause. In the tumultuous upheaval of a feudal society becoming a modern imperial power, it's inevitable that many would remember a simpler, somewhat fictional past. Play name even resonates with someone like me. It isn't that honor that doesn't exist anymore in my own time, albeit in a different form, but that it's distance, something you only hear about on the news. Oh wow, she looks really pretty. Wait, was she a part of the play? The curtains soon withdraw once more, slowly revealing the performers and the director. Yasue stands at the center of the stage, bowing with so many men flanking her. Some are sturdy, while others are slender. Some elegant, and others brutish. All natures and appearances are represented, each having given their all in the grand play. Whoa. Wait a minute! She made them? Okay, that's cool as hell. Yet, not one of the actors was human. Okay, she's apparently really freaking powerful. What act are we in? Act 1, Scene 3. Yeah. Another round of applauses ensues from the crowd, who are no less delighted by the illusion than the performance itself. Of course, I'm among them. No matter how many times I see it, Yasue's magic still amazes me. Oh. So she has a theater. Ooh. With little to occupy myself with following the play, and little desire to intrude in the lives of others, I quietly wait for Yasue outside the large venue, a task made easier by the cool night air. Life goes by slowly here. That contrast is one of the most jarring things about our two worlds. Even the most patient modern people have a sense of urgency about them. They're always thinking of things they need to do, people to meet, and news to read. Here, the old man urging his horse on simply pines for a meal and a bath. His day's work over. It's her. As Yasue finally leaves the venue, I call out to her. The way her shoulders relax a little when she sees me waiting doesn't go missed. I trust you enjoy the show. Of course. I don't get to see kabuki much, and definitely nothing like that. cute. Oh my god, look at us walking together! Yasue gives an indulgent smile at the praise, the two of us starting on our way down the street. It's hard to believe that the road we walk in... It's hard to believe that the road we walk is the very same one I've so often visited downtown. The street layout's uncannily familiar. Even as we walk, the odd passerby gives an appreciative bow or word of thanks to Yasue. Her only response each time is a humble, almost shy bow. Yasue must be one of those grand mages Shino mentioned. Yet, she herself never mentioned how powerful she was. I mean, if she's that strong, can she not unfreeze herself from time? I'm sure they're gonna answer that, but like, why can't she do it herself? She seems strong enough. Far from finding herself flustered by those around us, she instead turns to me for conversation. I did have one question about the modern world. Is kabuki still enjoyed? Do you know if my venue is still there? Uh-oh. I feel a little pained by her clear hope for a different answer than what I can give. In a world of movies, phones, and streaming, theater is largely relegated to the more culturally refined. Modernity continued, unquestioned. Her theater is a little more than a small plague in the real world. One of many minor landmarks commuters unknowingly walk by every day. Were it not for Yasue's interest in the topic, I wouldn't have noticed the unremarkable sign myself. Sad plague never mentioned Yasue though. Odd, for someone who seems to have practically created the venue's reputation. We'll have a lot of entertainment available to them these days, so it's usually the older generation who still attends. Honestly, I would like really want to go to a theater, but they are not very common. I think I would like it though. Maybe they're even stronger mage and controlling time and space is like a godly power. I think we can definitely not save her then. If you have to be that strong, if you have to be stronger than her, then how are we gonna save her? I think making a few illusions for a play is a bit different from controlling the passage of time for thousands of people. Fair. What if the reason she doesn't undo it is because she did it in the first place? Okay, that would be a pretty good plot twist, honestly. Theater still has a good audience on the mainland though. Not so much around Sapporo, but amateur kabuki still performed here every so often. Oh, she looks so sad. I try to put as positive a spin on it as I can, but the slight clouding to her expression is enough to see I failed. It's difficult to communicate just how much she's missed in over 100 years. Much of it harrowing and depressing. Trying to move the topic to more palatable ground, I speak first. With all your magic, what drew you to use it for kabuki? Mages are often a little eccentric. Our nature tends towards that which normal society doesn't understand. That isolation changing us. When I saw how delighted people were with what I conjured, I decided then and there to keep doing this for a living. If only my sister had the same desire to remain rooted with common people. Wait! What if, hear me out. What if, what was her name? Was her name Shino? What if she's the sister? And she like turned evil and then sealed them away. That would make sense. That would make sense if the library girl was her sister. She never mentioned she had a sister. Even now, her words more mumbled to herself than directed towards me. There don't exactly seem to be many mages around. I've never seen one before meeting you. I can only speak for Sapporo, but I'd guess there are about a few dozen, maybe, within the city. It's difficult to know for sure because many hide their powers or live away from common people as hermits. Maybe they don't know their power. Yasue gives a reflective snort at the idea, the crude amusement at odds with her otherwise calm and collected nature. She soon answers my confused reaction. That would be as impossible as forgetting you could see. No mage could simply forget their sense of magic. I see. Sorry, I really don't know much of anything about this. You say that, but you seem to have to leave the sealed world quite easily. Are we a cool mage? Are we like are we like hidden chosen one powers or something? Hermits like not knowing about phones or recently coming to the city? Oh my, but I didn't even make that connection, but you're so right. You're so right. Oh, and then she's trying to sabotage their relationship by speaking to her in the future because she doesn't want her to free her sis. Okay, if that is the plot, we are so smart. I think to myself about how to communicate such a thing, ending up with another clumsy analogy just as Yasue had used. If I had to put it in one way, it feels like holding a rock, letting go. Returning to my normal world is easy. On the other hand, getting here is like making a rock on the ground float up into my hand. Even though I can do this reliably now, it still feels surreal. Does that make any sense? That makes altogether too much sense, actually. I couldn't have described magic any better myself. With this, she emphasizes her point by conjuring a fan into her hand. Magic doesn't fit the laws of physics. We are denying reality, and so, reality works against whatever magic's being used. Therefore, maintaining anything magical takes active effort. To use your words, to keep a rock in the air, you have to hold on to it. Simply let your hand loose and... Interesting. With this, her fan poof. Her fan goes poof in a moment. It drops to the ground. Perhaps you're not as ignorant to our ways as you think. This is definitely some chosen one stuff. I still need to learn more about all of this. Sorry if you don't like me questioning you all the time. On the contrary, I actually rather like that sense of curiosity you have about you. Have you tried asking your friends about them? I don't have friends to ask. I'm not really the type. You seemed rather approachable to me. Here I was, worried whoever might arrive in this world would be some aloof old mage, grown haughty, something, and arrogant from skill and age. She gives an earnest smile to show her sincerity. Maybe it's only our being forced together by these strange circumstances. But having the company of Yasue is something I'm grateful for. For all she accepts my questioning of her, Yasue never pries into my own affairs. Besides, everyone would seem approachable to her. Many walk up to Yasue in the street, the powerful mage thinking nothing of speaking to them, as it equals. It would be so easy to become aloof and arrogant with that kind of power. She's so easygoing, and has so many skills and interests. In every way, Yasue is a far better person than I. How unfair it is that someone like her, instead of me, would be so cruelly sealed away. Bro, she's such a sad girl. Stop. You're cool too. As we turn a corner, Yasue's soft voice speaks again. I did have one more question actually. Where did you get the idea that I was powerful? You have nobody to compare me with, right? Okay, I guess we did. I guess I did assume that as well. Yeah, I might have spoken too soon. The new librarian at my university wanted to chat with me, so I asked about magic. I thought I should know more about something I'm using. Oh, you're in a university. That's wonderful. May I ask what you're studying? I'm a little taken aback by Yasue's excitement before remembering the context. University must have been rare to get into in her time, let alone for a woman. Humanities. Literature, mainly. Well, now, how useful that you found yourself in the past. Western literature. Uh-oh. Oh my god! She was so disappointed! Oh my god, bro! Dude! She's so disappointed! I'm sorry, Yasue. The pace of the conversation comes to a stop. Yasue left with an awkward smile. We almost find a common wavelength so often, only to miss by so little each time. Then again, if it hadn't been for my interest in European literature, I'd never have ordered that book on blood magic. I wouldn't have had the patience to slowly read through the handwritten pages either. My well-thumbed Italian dictionary at hand all the while. What would I put as my bibliography, even if I could use something I found here? A friend told me. She does have a point. She'd be like, people would be like, source? And she would be like, if I tell you, you're gonna put me in a mental hospital. So I'm just gonna say that I made it the frick up. Nako's awkwardness leaks into the game itself. Shut up. It's not my fault. I didn't even choose anything, okay? I thought you said you didn't have any friends. That was uncalled for, madam. That was a cheap rhetorical trap. Oh my god, look at her winking at me! Look at her winking at me! She has no shame. And her teasing face shows that she knows it. That said, I find myself rolling the idea around in my mind like a sweet. The thought suddenly comes to mind that I brought something along, thanks to chatting with Shino days earlier. She's gonna show her phone? My hand dives into my pocket to retrieve my phone, but before I can show it to her, a cheerful red packet slips out and falls to the ground first. Huh? Huh? Yasue's curiosity takes control as she quickly stoops down and takes it in her hands. Oh, it's chocolate. I thought that like my phone turned into a you know those little Lunar New Year red envelopes that people put money into? For some reason, that is what came to my mind. I thought it was gonna be something like that. It's chocolate. What's this? Oh, I completely forgot about buying that. It's just some chocolate. Yasue hardly hears me, entirely captivated by the relic of my world, as she turns the packet this way and that. She's probably unable to read the English branding, and unused to the modern packaging to begin with. It's a little charming, actually. She's hardly shy about her bewilderment, instead happily playing with the foil edges and trying to make sense of the slogans in marketing. Chocolate. I've heard about this. It's some medicine that's sold in Tokyo. So this has finally made it to Hokkaido then. Oh my god, she's gonna love chocolate. She's gonna like that chocolate very much. Yes. Oh no, Yasue is a SpongeBob mean. Chocolate! Treat people from the past with some microplastics. Don't be a buzzkill. They're gonna experience what it's like to have microplastics in your balls. Oh, it's not medicine, just a food. A sweet, I guess. Eat it. She's not making a secret of wanting to eat it. Oh my god, she's so cute! Look at her face! She's not making a secret of wanting to eat it. Very visibly stopping herself from asking. I feel like a mother whose kid is begging me at the store. Bro, that is so cute. You can have it. They're cheap. Bro, chocolate would be like such a luxury back then, no? I'm a little startled by how quickly she begins to work on the wrapper and how clumsily she rips it apart. It's easy to forget just how ingrained so many everyday things are to a modern person, like the specific way packets are designed to open. No sooner does she take a mouthful of the chocolate inside that her face lights up in delight. Oh, that's sweet. It's so sweet. She continues munching away, raising her free hand to poorly hide her chewing mouth. The modern world has so many wonderful things. I agree, madam. I agree. I love chocolate too. So Yasue has a sweet tooth. I wonder when sugary treats reached Hokkaido, she might have only ever had bean and rice-based confectionery. Sugar would be terribly sweet compared to anything she's had before. I mean, considering that, like, my dad told me that when he was a kid, soda was like a rich people thing. Like, soda was expensive and it was like really rare. You would only have soda like every so often. And my dad is a Gen Xer. So I think it probably took like, probably only by the end of the 1900s did people like actually have like chocolate widely available and stuff like that. Yeah, chocolate in earlier was only for royalty. Yeah, that makes sense. Just wait until bro discovers Nutella. She has to bring her some Nutella, dude. She has to bring her like, oh my god. Have you guys ever seen those videos that are like trying out Japanese snacks, trying out American snacks? Imagine a person from the early 1900s trying out modern snacks. Now that is a YouTube video that I would love to watch. Bro, the protagonist should bring a camera back with her and then make YouTube videos with her 100-year-old... Okay, I'm thinking too much like a YouTuber. Never mind. Anyways, as she savors the last few morsels from the packet, I reach in and take the phone from my pocket once more, usually having left it charging when I came here in the past. Yasue gulps down the last of her chocolate as I bring it up between us, her puzzled face reflecting off its shiny black screen. She jerks back a little in surprise as the screen lights up. Eager to see what she makes of it, I unlock the phone and hand it over to her. Whoa! What's this? A phone. A phone, you say? Here, you can tap on the screen to do things. I give a couple of taps here and there to show opening an app and such, before Yasue gives a try for herself. I don't think she quite understands it all, but her face lights up as she slowly gets the hang of it. As Yasue fiddles about, she manages to discover moving things by dragging left and right, and opening controls by tapping completely by herself. I'm surprised she worked it out so quickly, but I suppose she's still just human. It's not like I understand how a phone really works. I just use it. Okay, that is fair. I feel like modern people have at least a little bit of an idea of how how a phone works. No? Oh, are they gonna take a picture? What's this? As she lowers the phone for me to see, it appears Yasue's managed to open the camera app. The viewfinder currently pointed at our feet. Mobile phones are also cameras these days. You can take photos by pressing this button. The idea seems to have stumped an already perplexed Yasue. Oh my god, take a selfie with the 100-year-old. Take a selfie with her. Yes! Let's go! Let's go! I mean, it's made to be intuitive, right? That's true, like, you see babies using phones, so I guess it makes sense. She's a smart 100-year-old lady, right? I take the phone back to guide her through how the camera works, changing to the front camera and holding it up to show both of us on screen. It's admittedly a little clumsy. I've never been one for selfies and keep trying to move the phone the wrong way to keep us in the shot. The look of sheer glee of Yasue's face when it all clicks for her, though, as seen on the screen before us, makes it all worth it. I can't help but smile at the absurdity of the situation, as the two of us crowd into the swaying frame. Oh my god, how much you wanna bet? How much you wanna bet that the sister slash possible sister librarian girl is gonna see the picture in her phone and freak the freak out? I feel like that's gonna happen. It takes place in 1920. I thought it was way more older times. No, it's like it's 1 century ago. They don't explain exactly when it is, but it's like the end of the Meiji era? Question mark? I think. Yeah. 3 nako coins, 2 nako coins. What? What do you mean by that? With some difficulty, I managed to somehow maneuver a finger onto the shutter button, finally taking the shot with a loud click. Bringing the phone down between us, I show Yasue the staged photo, her face leaning in close to take in every detail. Incredible! Everything's so colorful, and I didn't even have to stay still. How did it develop so fast? It's probably a bit complicated to explain, but photos like this don't need to be developed. It's not going on to film. I'm so used to the digital era that the days of film cameras slipped my mind. As I replace the phone in my pocket, Yasue writes herself, but the excited energy from her new discovery still remains. I have to remind myself yet again that this woman's actually the older of us. Thank you, Honoka. This is the first time in so long I feel like I've had some connection to the real world of the... Which era is it now? After the Meiji era, it went Taisho, Showa, Heisei, and now Reiwa. Reiwa. How lovely a name. Those in your era must live an amazing life. Debatable. Debatable. And the food as well. It's so nice. Okay. Our food is pretty nice. I do appreciate having modern food. I hold my tongue, but it's also ordinary to me that I hardly notice such things day to day. To Yasue, though, this might as well be another world entirely. Her childlike joy is quite charming. It feels nice to have helped her, however accidental it may have been. I wonder just how long it's been since I've helped another. I'm so wrapped up in my own feelings that it takes a moment to realize Yasue's attention has shifted back to me. A smile suits you. Oh my god! In a moment, my face collapsed. What the hell? Bro. It's not that I hate her well-meaning compliments, but somehow it doesn't feel right to smile. Not after everything that's happened. I don't know how you smile so easily. especially after being sealed away. It's been over 100 years now. My age, the people, this world, everything unchanging. I wasn't always like this. The worst of my time here was the period I entertained escape. That every moment I failed to find a way out was a moment in the company of loved ones that I lost. How have you lived for so long, though? You don't look old at all. Why, thank you. Mages, powerful ones anyway, can tap a little of their magic to slow their aging. It's not unusual for some to live perhaps triple a normal lifespan, or even more. Okay, so they can live for like crazy ages. I see. I could have taken the easy way out and not done so, but oh my god, that scared me for a second. Not gonna let the silence, the music stopping scared me. I couldn't let myself die here. Not in the prison she sent me to wander. My revenge on her would have been my final play, if only she still lived. Guys, I think we're right. For the first time, I catch a glimpse of something darker in her. Without thinking, I take a step back, my chest tightening at the change from her otherwise gentle nature. What was that? Why did it get the cheerful red packet crumpling up in her tightening hand reminds her of the here and now. Yasue forcing the thoughts from her mind given my presence. It's only natural to hate anyone who did such a thing to her, but I didn't know she had such anger bottled up. That isn't your concern, though. Let's end talk of that matter. I see much has changed in your world, if not mine. Hands are common now, for one. She gives a small smile, trying to distract herself with a lighter topic. I can't help but feel awful, but I humor Yasue for her sake. I wouldn't say it to her now of all times, but this world reminds me a little of a snow globe. A small slice of the world, captured at one point in time, now everlasting. A world where the company of strangers is all she had. Don't worry, kimono and yukata are still worn, especially for festival and events. I wore one to the last fireworks, actually. Okay, wait, so they are similar? The modern kimono and yukata are similar to the ones from back then? That was truly a cat. She gets scared by every little thing. Listen! You wouldn't get it, okay? I'm immersed. I got scared by the scary looking lady. I'd like to see that. You'd look pretty in one. Every so often, she oversteps into undeserving compliments. I get that she wants to put me at ease, though. Oh my god, take the compliment! This protagonist is pissing me off! Take the freaking compliment! Oh my god! One of my earliest memories as a child is one of standing around in my yukata all ready to go, but the festival being cancelled. To cheer me up, my parents took me to see the fireflies instead. When I saw them, I thought they were better than any fireworks. They almost looked magical as a child, floating about in the night's darkness. Oh, that's sweet. It's been a long time since I saw those. Why is the screen flashing red? What is happening? Bro, this is freaking me out. It's been a long time for me as well. Fireflies are hard to find anymore, with increasing pollution and less wilderness. I feel an altogether too familiar pang of regrets at mentioning my family. my body going cold at the idea of having to think about this any further. This is the one place I'm free from that feeling. Why did I have to bring them up? Okay, I think our parents did die. Please don't ask anything further about them, Yasue. Please. Oh, she knows. Soon, that wish becomes altogether too true. The silence make it clear Yasue's been taken off guard, acutely aware of the topic to avoid. As I feel pain from clutching my arm, I decide to use the one excuse to leave that I told myself I wouldn't. I should be going. I'm feeling tired. Bro, that's so sad. MC would have been a good VTuber if she ever wants to. I can see her in a special sad girl company. I could see that. I could see that. She's not that crazy though. She would have to be a little bit more insane too. That's fine, Honoka. Take care of yourself. For what it's worth, I'm glad you count me as a friend. Everyone needs some, even if you might not believe it. That was why I took up theater after all. Thanks, Yasue. I'll see you later. That's sad. With that, I take a deep breath and close my eyes. Even as the magic begins to take hold, my mind is elsewhere. I can't make the world a better place, as Shino's working towards. I'm too selfish, too useless to do something like that. What I can do is help this one person. Act 1, Scene 4. How many? Okay, I think we will finish this in the next stream. I'm thinking of the... So, since I still have to decide what days I'm gonna do Twitch streams and what day I'm gonna do YouTube streams. But I think we're gonna play this game again next week and maybe another game for YouTube gaming streams. Like 2 Twitch streams and 2 YouTube streams. But I will let you guys know on the Discord, okay? Let me send the link of the Discord. If you're not already there, consider joining so that you can get my schedule for the week and all of that. And I'll see you guys next week, okay? I'll post the schedule as soon as I can. But there might be a stream on Tuesday, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. I'll see you next week, okay? And bye bye.